guys, Gene here with G Squared Tactical, doing something today that I very, very rarely, if ever, do, and that is review a tool because they don't really get a whole lot of traction. Most people just really don't care. Most of them are boring. Most of the tools, Real Avid, Wheeler, some of the old school tools have been around for many, many years. We get them, we use them. Nobody really cares to look at reviews on them usually. So I typically just don't. It's not something I get super stoked or excited about, or hey, I want to tell you guys about something, but I found an item that makes me want to do that. So I'm gonna do a quick little overview. I wouldn't necessarily call this a review, a real world review. Maybe if I use this, or when should I say that I use this kit in the real world, I'll do another follow up or something, or maybe a follow up down the road. But this is the Fix It Sticks. Up until now, I've always used my Wheeler fat screwdriver, torque screwdriver, and again, it's been great. It's been no problems, but I've had it, been using it for about 7 years, and I mount a ton of red dots on my pistols, and I don't know how that works, and I didn't build them, and I don't do that kind of thing. I shoot guns and fix air conditioning units, and so I don't know if it would lose calibration. I'm just being proactive, being on the safe side, updating or upgrading, should I say, my torque screwdriver or something to torque my red dots onto my pistols, just to be on the safe side. I don't want to be rounding off anything in my slide or screwing anything up. That's just my OCD self being proactive. So I decided to go with this Fix It Sticks. I started seeing these on the store shelves. As you guys know, I typically don't order stuff online. I typically support my local brick and mortar, but I haven't saw this in many of the brick and mortars that I visit, hardly any at all, just one of the larger ones that I typically go to. I started seeing them on their shelves about a year and a half ago. Of course, I was intrigued, but I was like, you know what? I have all of this stuff just separately, and then I have my Wheeler, so what's the point in this? And so when it came time to upgrade my Wheeler, I'm like, I'm gonna go get a Wheeler that the plated bits are, none of them are gonna fit. The only like one in there actually goes on some of your modern red dots, and that's just the truth. I mean, I had to buy all these attachments, which I wanted to replace too, because I'm sure they have some wear on them as well. So I decided to go with the Fix It Sticks. I went over and Brownells has, they're right in line with everyone else as far as the price is concerned, and fast shipping, great customer service. Been ordering from them for years, so I decided to pick it up from them. I think I got it in 2 days, maybe 3. Either way, quick, super quick shipping, just good, great customer service over there. You can click on the link in the right-hand corner of the screen here, and it'll take you right over to this exact set if you're interested in this. That's where I picked it up over at Brownells. Comes with this T handle here, and again, I'll try to put some pictures up. I know sometimes it'd be hard to see this stuff, but you can put your attachments in on either side. This side, this side. Put it in the bottom, your torque limiter, and then put your plated bit in there and go to town. So I seen that it was easier to use it like this, use it this way, put it in one of the sides here, whichever works best for you. It did come with a 15-pound, and so the reason I decided to go with this, even though I don't mount a lot of scopes, I don't do a lot of rifles on the channel, mostly red dots on pistols. You may say, well, then why didn't you go with the all-in-one? Well, hear me out. So a lot of these items on here are very, very useful for your shotgun, for your AR-15, for mounting your scopes. Like, I need those things as well. But the torque on some of your red dots, some are lower than 15. You might have 12. Occasionally I might see a 10, but I'm a middle of the line or middle of the road kind of guy, if you will. I torque almost all of mine to 15 unless you have some insane torque value that's recommended like on FN, where it's some crazy like 25 or something. It's way up there. I'll have to verify what it is, but I know that it's way, way up there. And a 25 torque limiter is included in this kit, and the 15, which is my middle of the road, is pretty much what I mount all of my red dots to, unless, of course, the manufacturer recommends some insanely high number like FN does. So even if it's at 18, even if the manufacturer of the firearm recommends 18, I still typically will go with 15. But just for everyone that would give me grief about that, because you know how the YouTube trolls are, I did order the all-in-one torque limiter. It just hasn't arrived yet. And it was cheaper to get this kit instead of going with the Armorer's kit, which is almost $600, and getting most of these items that you see here, along with a lot more, obviously. But this is all I would need, and then get the all-in-one torque limiter for like 56 bucks. And so I'm $250, $300 less than it would be for buying the Armorer's kit. They do have a kit smaller than this that is, I think it's called the all-in-one kit or what have you, but you don't get all of these, you know, attachments for, or, you know, devices, if you will, for your, you know, rifle, AR-15, things of that nature. So this was the best kit for me, I believe, with the all-in-one torque limiter that I ordered with it. And man, I'm super excited to start using this thing to mount my red dots. This one came with a 1/2 inch socket bit adapter. Man, that could be so useful in so many different ways. I mean, just not even really on you can use it for things other than guns, because you have a 65 inch-pound torque limiter. That would be your scopes, rings, things of that nature. You have a 45-pound torque limiter. Again, mostly going to see that on scopes and things like that. Your rifles, you have a 25. That mostly would be on rifles and stuff too, but like I said, FN has an insanely high torque value on their slides, so you might could use that on your FNs and maybe some of your other pistols that have those insanely high torque values. And then it did come with a 15, which is great for me. That's what I use more often than not. I would say 90% of the time, that's what I torque my red dots to. And so, again, that's why I say, you know, most of these things, other than a socket adapter, it could be used for all types of things. But this would be mostly for your rifle scope. But I need those things too, right? I need to have those things as well. That's where the all-in-one torque limiter that I ordered is really going to come in handy, okay? It is you have a universal choke tube wrench. You got a 1911 bushing wrench. Again, I'll put a picture up of all of these things. You have a Glock front sight tool. I mean, you know, how handy would that be? That would come in very, very handy. And I picked up the wrong thing. That's not even the Glock tool. Anyway, I'll try my best to put up pictures of this. There's a lot going on here for me to try to cram into a small video. You have a mini pry bar. You have a bolt carrier group scraper. You have a metal pin punch. I mean, dang, you have a castle nut wrench. You have a bronze scraper, a steel pick, non-marring plastic punch. You have a cleaning brush, an A2 front sight adjustment bit. You have the set of brass cleaning rods that can accept, you know, 8/32 thread attachment, set of 2 bit adapters to also allow 8/32 threaded components, 24 chrome plated 1/4 inch bits all the way down to a T8, I believe is the smallest one I've seen on the Torx. Yeah, so on the Torx, the smallest one I saw was a T8, and it looks like it goes all the way up to as big as, let's see what this one is. This is a T30. So again, you know, totally could be used on things other than your firearm. That's what really drew me to it, because I have a Jeep. We put a lot of attachments on there, and that T25 and T30. Let's see if this is a T25. Oh, that's a 27. And then we have a 25. So that T25 and that T30 man, there's so many of attachments for the Jeep that I could use that for. That definitely is not going to be over 65 inch-pound of torque. So I can use this outside of my firearms. That's another reason why I was super excited about it. You have this patch on the back, or this Velcro, if you will. It's a magnetic also, but you can stick it right on your gun bag. Just pound it right on there. Don't even have to put it down in your gun bag. If you have a gun bag that has the Velcro on the outside, just slap it right on the outside of your gun bag. Again, it's also magnetic, and it is just a super, super nice kit. So just for anyone that wanted to know how the torque limiter worked, let me find my attachment here that fits. I brought my FN out, my FNX Tactical, and it has, find the best way to lay this. So this is my 15 inch-pound torque limiter. Like I said, it works best for me like this here. Get a better grip on it. You can put it down here or over here, whichever works best for you. Got my T10 chrome plated bit attachment here. And I already know that this plate, you know, I've taken the optic off of this gun, and I've torqued this plate to 15 pounds. Again, FN calls for some insane amount of torque, and this plate was torqued to, I'm wanting to say it was 25 pounds. It was absolutely insane. I did not put it back on there that tight. I did when I was playing around with this. Torque it to 15 pounds. Again, like I said, that's my typical go-to. I'll try to do it from the side here, but you just put it down in there like you would anything else, and you start to turn it, and it basically will click. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera or not, but it'll basically click, and it'll just basically turn freely. It's not turning the Torx bit at all, and that's pretty much that. I guess you can hear that click. I hope you can anyway, but as it's clicking, it's not allowing this bit here to turn, so you're not going to over tighten it. And the same would apply with a 25, with your 45, and they have an all-in-one. Like I said, I've ordered. I wish I had it here. Maybe I should have before I'd done the review, but the all-in-one, you put it in there, and it has these lines all the way over to, I can't remember how high it goes, if it's all the way up to 65. I don't know. I just can't remember. When I get it, I'll do a follow-up on it. But, you know, I think it goes from 10 or 12 or something like that for, you know, a little less torque that you might find on some optics. And you basically just spin it around and line it up with your torque value, whatever it is, 12, 15, 25. And so with that attachment, with that universal or all-in-one torque limiter, there's literally going to be nothing that I can't do out at the range with my red dots, with my rifles, with my shotguns, with your choke removal tool here. There's literally going to be nothing. I thought this out. Got my universal torque limiter. There's going to be nothing that I won't be able to do out at the range with this setup. Absolutely so far. I mean, again, I haven't used it a ton. I mounted one red dot with it, with the 15 pound. I did on camera here, I did the cover plate for my FNX Tactical. Haven't used it a ton, but definitely going to use it a ton, no doubt. If you want to pick one of these up, of course, there's other places to do that. But again, Brownells, old school, good customer service. Got it sent out to me super, super quick. And like I said, the price is right there in line with everyone else. Click on the link in the right-hand corner if you want to go right over to their website and pick this up. So far, I can highly recommend it. Super excited about this kit. Was giddy like a kid when it showed up. Again, thanks so much for watching today, guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. go over, check me out on Patreon. Consider monthly supporting me over there. I'm also over on Rumble. Check out gsquaredtactical.com to pick up your hats, coasters, things of that nature. And as always, to God be the glory.